Ola, thank you so much for being on Beauty and the Birch.
Thank you for having me. I'm
I
really
love
excited.
it. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Ola Elsharef is a Sudanese beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content creator here in Dubai. She made her way from cooking videos and has now amassed over 400,000 followers. Am I right? More than.
Yeah, more. I feel like on altogether, 1 million plus.
Altogether, 1 million plus across all her social media platforms. She has a background in finance and she is a dear friend of mine. We've known each other since university. That is my description of her. But I want to ask you, Ola, how would you describe yourself today?
Ooh, okay. Today, I would say I would describe myself as a strong person. Yeah. There's this thing that I read before that don't introduce yourself with your career, introduce yourself with your qualities. And I think the quality I would describe myself is a very strong person,
I love it.
determined, and super confident.
And that's true. That is the Ola that I've known from way back then. You know, if I had to describe you in one word from university days, from the moment I actually met you, Ola, her at her very core has always been very determined, strong-willed, and very focused.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very focused.
Focused. So let's go back to that. I met her in university. You were studying finance, if I'm not
Finance.
mistaken.
100%.
I was studying journalism.
Mm.
Were you a year above or below me?
I think a year below you. Yeah,
Okay.
a year below you.
You graduated what
yeah,
year?
I graduated after you because I remember you graduated 2017. I graduated
Yes.
2018.
Sah, and you were at my graduation too.
Yes.
Cute. Okay. So for those of them who don't know, when was the first moment that we met? Do you remember?
Of course I remember because she keeps blabbering about it. No. I'm gonna say it the Shireen way. I walk into my friend's, I don't know, bedroom. Like it was like your thingy.
My home,
Your
my
roommates.
dorm.
Yeah. So we were at the dorms. I walk into the dorm room and then I see this beautiful Sudanese goddess. There was Ula.
I really did. It was in slow motion. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, "We shouldn't be." Imagine you're opening your door, yeah. And my roommate at the time, she's South Sudanese, and so I opened the door. I don't know where she was. Was she standing somewhere else? But there was another girl, and I'm like, "What happened? They change my roommate without me knowing?"
Yeah.
And there's this gorgeous gal in slow mo. I was very enthralled by her beauty,
you.
and I think that was like the first thing I said to you. I was like, "We, you're beautiful. What are you doing here?" But that was the first day I met her, and I think we've always just had on and off random conversations since then, right?
100%.
Like our lives weren't really as intertwined. I think we were all navigating it very differently, but we always came back to each other in moments of conversation, deep
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. I think the baseline is the same. Like for me and you, I feel like we do lead different lives. We have different friend groups as well. But at the same time, I feel like we have very similar personalities, very similar experiences as well. So that always like kind of connected us together.
Yes.
I could always relate to you. And this is something that, you know, is very rare these days to find someone that you could relate to, someone with the same past experience, upbringing, and family dynamics.
Oh, yes.
This is
that
the reason
one.
why we're friends.
That one. I think that was really when we quote unquote fell in love with each other,
Literally.
because it was like we would never realize the time. I think I would maybe come over to yours at 8 p.m. and then it would be 2 a.m. and we were just yapping all those hours, talking about traumas, history, overcoming,
Yeah.
and like telling you how much you remind me of my mom because you're so like just strong-willed. And I feel like I had never seen such a character like that other than with her. So going back to that, I think one of my favorite memories of Ola, despite all of those conversations that we have and, you know, seeing your first apartment ever and having your first Ramadan moment where you cussed us all out and said, "I'm done being your friends after this, you guys. This is the last time I'm being your friend ever again," in a joking way, of course. My favorite memory would have to be in Khartoum with you and the girls, because I feel like, oh my God, don't cry.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was everybody in their element. You know what I mean? That was like, I had only heard the stories that you guys would tell me about it. And I met so many of your friends. I mean, the Sudanese community here and the girls that I went to university with, a lot of them were Sudanese and they really shared with me the culture, really invited me in. There was always a running joke of when is she going to get her jawaz.
Literally.
And so it was so nice for me to finally get to see the places, to see Carrefouri fried chicken, Starbucks,
Starbucks is real.
have the kaak, sit and spend it with your families who welcomed me in like it was my own home. And I'll never forget that. That was one of my favorite memories.
I know. It was one of mine as well.
Oh,
I do miss it a lot.
yeah.
And I think nowhere will ever be Khartoum again. Like it's a place that has generosity, hospitality, beauty, the people, the vibes, the connections you have there. It's more than home. It's home for everyone that's there. Like I'll tell you a story. I was in Egypt recently, and I remember I went to the store, and there was a Syrian working there. And then he recognized that I was Sudanese, and he was like, and he started speaking in the Sudanese dialect with me. And I remember I was kind of stunned because I was like, how do you, like you're Syrian in Egypt. How can you speak the dialect? And he was like, I lived in Sudan for 10 years. He was like, it was home. He was like, the only reason I'm here is the war. Like he had to move because of the war. And it just showed that it became home to the Syrians as well.
Yes.
Do you get me? So I miss it. And hopefully we'll go back one.
Inshallah. Shut up. I was just going to ask you about that. What are like some of the things that you miss the most about Khartoum?
Oh, okay. Obviously the people. I think just the people in one space, in one place. Like if I want to go see this person, he's there, he's close by. Now it's really hard to just say, oh, I want to go see my people. Seeing them around, walking down the street and seeing your own people. I know this is absurd and it's so small, but I don't have it anymore. I can't just go down the street and see my people. I can't just go have normal conversations with people with the same background as me. I miss the food. I miss the gatherings. I miss the restaurants. I miss just like we used to have a lot of gatherings.
A lot.
Me and my friends, we literally grew up together just by going to a gathering every Thursday. Going it's such a nicely knitted community as well. I miss it. I miss every single bit of it. I miss the heat. I miss the electricity cuts. I miss being there. I miss me there.
Having that home.
Yeah.
That's home, right? Yeah. At the end of the day. I cannot wait for the day that Khartoum gets to rebuild itself. I have high hopes, and I can't wait for all of you guys to be back, to see all of you reunite with your friends, your families. Inshallah, I'll get to visit again. And get to sit and wait at the airport and, be made jokes of. I love Sudanese people so much. Can't wait to be back with my kandakas. We will come back. On that note, you guys had a lot of gatherings, you said.
Yes.
Do you have early memories of like sleepovers since, we are in our PJs right now?
Sleepovers. Yes, but not with friends.
Oh.
So I feel like, my parents were, I wouldn't say against the idea, but I wasn't really, I don't have sleepovers with friends. I think like only when I was like probably like 14 or 15 when I started like having sleepovers. But I have so many memories with my cousins.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I grew up with my cousins. This is a Sudanese thing where there's always a big house that has all the cousins, and we kind of just would have sleepovers over summer with like, one of my aunts basically raised me. I used to always go to her house in the summer, and I would stay for a month.
Oh my.
Yeah. Like I would sleep over like for weeks, and then, like...
She moved in. It was not a sleepover.
It was not a sleepover. I love it. It's like, I'm part of this family, See? They used to like get like, what's really funny? Like my aunt would dress us the same. I was her child, basically. Aww. She would dress me and my cousins the same thing for Eid. Yeah, aww. I know. I miss this, for example, having aunts that are mothers.
Yeah.
And
was it always... Forgive me if this was just a one-time thing, but I visited one of our mutual friends' homes in Sudan and another one, and I noticed there was always a bed in the living room. I don't know if this is because of the big sleepover culture.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this a thing?
It's not a sleepover culture. It's more about like, hospitality is a huge thing.
Yes.
So you'll always have that guest room. right? So this room would be for people who just want to, like, let's imagine the mothers would have their friends. Obviously, they don't want to sit in the living room. Sudanese people are are very natural, you know? They like things to just be natural, be homey. So if you come over, I don't want you to sit in the living room and, you know, act all bougie and sip tea. I want you in a bedroom, you know, like a guest room where we could lay on the bed, have a normal conversation, like just feel more at
It's
home.
your home, yani.
Exactly.
That's so true. I know that a lot of Sudanese families go out of their way. مثلا, some Sudanese families here in Dubai, if they have families coming over from Sudan or other parts of the world, sometimes they'll even leave the house just to like make it comfortable for the guests, the families,
100%.
which I love.
It's a very important thing as well.
You guys take it seriously.
100%, because I think giving is a very important trait that you need to, you know, we live once, right? You want to leave a good memory. And you want people to remember you with a good deed. And I think one of the best deeds that you could leave behind is generosity, is giving, is imagine yourself as a as a vessel, sorry. I think if you want more blessings to flow into your life, you need to open, you need to give, right? So I think by giving, you receive more blessings. And Sudanese people are very blessed, you know, like I think God has blessed us with a beautiful country. God has blessed us with beautiful human beings. Like the community is amazing, you know. So I believe this is one of the blessings that we've received from God is because we give.
Yeah, because you give in abundance, so the abundance is never limited.
100%.
Loves it. Okay, so on from sleepovers and Khartoum, I want to talk about one of the key milestones in your life. You have a finance background, right? You studied it in university, you got your degree, you worked in finance for a bit here in Dubai. How did that lead you to the beauty world? I know how. I just popped up on my TikTok and I saw Ola cooking and I was like, is this my friend Ola? Her voice sounds familiar. And then I saw all the followers and I was like, what? She didn't even mention this to anybody.
Yeah, so I didn't know it was... Okay, so it started randomly. Like, I was like, you know what? I was bored. I didn't have a job at the moment. I was, you know, in between jobs. And I just like, you know what? Let me start doing videos because my mom loves TikTok. She's literally TikTok #1 follower. So she always wanted me to go into social media. She wanted me to be a model. When I was young, she was convinced that I need to become a model. She had like a vision for me. You remember like back in the days where like the magazines, she would be like, you know, I want this for you. And I'd be like, I kind of don't want this for myself. I don't know what this is.
I want the opposite.
I don't know what this is. And then I remember, you know, like I was in between jobs. So I was like, let me try something new. And then I thought, let me create content for someone who doesn't even know how to take photos. Doesn't even have like, you know, like I don't even have the background. I don't even have...
Guys, she would have like 0 to 2 Instagram posts, yani,
and
a year.
And then I deleted everything and I had a private account with 0 followers. Imagine.
My God.
Yeah. So I remember just that time I was like, you know, let me try something new. And then I thought TikTok, because I don't know anyone on TikTok. No one knows me on TikTok. So I just put out videos for fun. And just one day, one of them just blew up. And, you know, never looked back since.
What was your reaction when that blew up?
I was stunned. Obviously, I never got so much, you know, instant attention ever in my life. And I remember going through the comments and I just thought to myself, like, I made it.
Were the comments like,
hate.
Were there anything like, they were all hate?
Like, not all of them, but like, you know, like seeing that I've evoked such an intense emotion, you know,
for merely existing.
Yeah, for merely existing from people I actually do not know, from Adam and Eve, was just insane to me. And then that's when I was like, you know, this is for me.
She loves it.
I love it.
Do you see other people would have been like, no, I'm giving up. I'm not doing this anymore. Ola got fueled by this.
You see, there's this one thing. I love a challenge. I love a life that's, I wouldn't say like, it's not a struggle, but I enjoy things that are hard. You know, I want to leave a mark that I did something here, something that's not easy. And I see when I saw how hard it is to receive so much backlash, so much criticism, because it does affect your vanity, right? So I feel like I just realized that this is gonna change my personality. This is gonna make me more stronger. This is gonna open up my mind into new possibilities. And I feel like I always challenge myself, and that challenged me. And I was like, you know what, this is what I need to do. At least for my personality, it's gonna change it. It's gonna make me something else. And this is what I need, you know?
Why did you feel like before that you were easy, yani you were a little bit more sensitive to criticism?
It's not that I was sensitive, but I never really got criticized a lot. You know, obviously we all go through phases where friends could say stuff about us, people could say negative things, but it never really affected me. I'm not easily affected. I'd like to believe that, you know, I don't.
You're not.
I don't get to me. I'm like, you know, like, it's your opinion. You're entitled
She's
to it.
chilling.
But I feel like getting a high dose of that was really like, imagine putting a person who never really experienced any hardship in a hard position. How is he going to act? So that was basically me putting myself in a hard position to actually build a character, build a personality, because a personality is built through hardship, through challenging situations. You can't judge a person if they did not go through hardship, if they did not struggle. They always say, you know how they say that don't judge a person if you're not walking in their shoes, right? So I feel like the only way for me to actually have character is by building it bit by bit.
It's true. And you only gain that through experience.
100%.
Like who you are in your 20s was built by who you were in your teens. Who you were in your teens was built by what you experienced in your childhood. 100%. And who you are in your 30s or entering your adulthood, if you will, is built by what you did in your 20s and how many challenges you put yourself through and overcame. This is why there came a point for me, mathalan, where I got so comfortable in my life as a presenter, you know, in the last couple of years. And I was like, okay, great. She's making money. She's always wanted to just be able to make money, support her family, chidi. But then when the opportunity to take part in a pageant, which, as you know, is basically putting yourself on the front line to be judged by everything, your looks, what you say, how you show up for yourself, how you dress, everything, your body.
It's too close to your vanity.
It's everything. Yes. Your self-esteem, I put it at the front line because I was like, well, I never allowed myself to go the next level with my career. I always just like to be just there, just comfortable, just enough. You know, and I never allowed myself to dream the wild dreams that younger Shireen wanted to dream because I was thinking, no, but what will people say? How do you bounce back from like hate? What if they don't like this? What if they don't like that? And then I thought, what's the only way to overcome this is to go through it. I have to just do it.
100%. And I'm so proud of you for it.
Thank you.
I never thought in a million years that you would do it. I swear to God, I feel like when you actually did it, Shireen, you shed so much to do this. It really just, it changed you. It changed you in so many ways. The way you deal with life now, it made you so strong. It kind of as you said, you put your self-esteem out there and you're like, judge me.
Yeah.
You know? And this is not really your core, you know, like to put yourself out there to...
I'm a little bit more sensitive on the inside, actually.
But to see you there and to see you do it fully and to commit and to just like roll with the punches, Shireen, you're someone new. You are like, you know, I feel like it's the best thing that happened to you because it built a personality that cannot be broken. You got judged by the whole world.
The whole world.
You know?
They were telling me I was too fat to be representing, not Bahraini enough, not Filipino enough. I don't even know. There were so many things. The face needs this, the face needs that. Do fillers, do Botox, do march, you know. And you hear it enough. Sometimes it actually gets to you. But then in those moments was really when I had to turn back to my moral support, turn back to myself and remember who the heck I am, who I remembered I was. And then I just went with that. So I think for everybody watching this, if there's a challenge that you feel scared to do, take it from Ola and I, just do it.
You need to do it. You need to do it. That's the only way you're going to grow. And you're not... You were not created to be comfortable. You know? Then we would have been in heaven, to be honest. I feel like you're created to build a character, to build a personality, to build a life, to leave a mark. And the only way to do that is through actual hardship that's actually going to make your character stronger.
Because you may not even realize it in the moment, صح? The lesson will always come days, weeks, months, maybe even years after you go through it. You're going to ask in the moment, why am I going through this? Why this? Why that? But oh my God, it'll change your life.
Be so proud of yourself.
Ola, Dubai, huge hub for creators now.
I love it.
We're seeing millionaires. Ola has been able to, mashallah, get her own apartment in Dubai, right? With all your work. I don't want to put aside your professional job. I know that helped as well. Your career in finance, content creation. What is it like now in Dubai? What are your thoughts on the industry so far?
Okay, to start off, Dubai is one of the most opportunistic spaces to ever be in. There's so much opportunity, there's so much wealth, there's so much challenges as well, right? But I feel like it opened up doors that I never even thought were possible for me. So I'm grateful for that. And it would have been a bum if I did not use it fully, right? So I had a full-on career, like in finance. But at the same time, when social media happened, I was like, I'm going to do both. Because why not? An opportunity comes once. I heard this before, and it was one of the things that always stuck with me. An opportunity comes once. So if you don't fully use it, then you missed the moment. You missed the moment that could have made you something. So I try to use whatever is in front of me all the time. And I think Dubai is the space for it.
That's so true. Okay, what is though the one ick that you have now that you've become easily recognizable?
One ick?
Yeah, like maybe from people or from brands or in the industry in general.
Okay.
Because it has its pros, right?
Listen, it has so many pros, but I think I wouldn't call it an ick, but I would call it a con. Which I will turn it into a positive by the end of this.
I love it.
But the con is people take the word influencer very seriously. People expect a normal person with a phone who's just recording their life to have a higher mentality, or like to be fully educated and to represent a nation. And do you get me? I feel like a lot of people put so much responsibility on influencers, which it is true to an extent though. You can't expect someone who just have a phone, who doesn't have a degree on whatever do you get me, to have a huge response and to hold them accountable. And people then getting offended when this simple person with a phone saying something simple or not agreeing with the norm and saying, oh, you don't represent us. Well, he shouldn't represent you. He's representing himself by showing his life. He's not giving life lessons. He's not showing you the correct way of living. This is a simple person with a simple background probably, and is just sharing their experience through life. It could not be the right experience. It could not be the right way of life, but it's their way of life. So I think the one thing is that, oh, you don't represent us or this. I think it's kind of, it's irrelevant. You can't say you don't they're representing themselves.
And I think in terms, like to add to that, it's more of like there's a creator for every category of life, right? Like you have the wellness creators, you have people in the beauty space, and sometimes it should really just stick to that. And if they want to do more, that's on them. Then you support the people that are using their platforms to make a difference.
100%.
Like I know you post about beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and your cooking stuff. And you also, when it's something relevant to you, your community, the communities you care about, you use your platform. You use it so much. And that's because it matters to you. And that makes it also personal. And even sometimes I know that if friends or people that you don't even know ask you to share something, you do it. And I see that, you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, you're right about that. Yani let's not put them as the moral grounds for every single thing.
Exactly. It's just entertainment, I'm saying this to the followers. At the end of the day, this is the influencer's way of life. It could not be your way of life, but that does not mean that it's not a way of life because someone is already living it, it's always take whatever works with you, leave the rest. We need to just be more open to accepting that different people are experiencing life differently. And even if you think it's not the correct way of living, you don't really need to get too emotional about it. It's okay. They're just human beings showing their lives. They're not professors or educators in the way of life. They're just people who are showing their lives.
In other words, it's not that deep.
It's to a huge extent, it's not that deep. Just, scroll if you don't like it, and it's entertainment. Take it as
That's
that.
true. People like to relax. If they don't like something,
emotional.
they're like so passionate, and the hate, and it's like, guys, tara, the hate is really funding the lifestyle also,
100%.
is my thing. On that note, people also say influencing, there's a lot of people that say influencing is not a job. But on the other side, sometimes I find that those are the same people that wish to have this as a career. What are your thoughts on that?
To be fully honest, it is a full-time job. I feel like a lot of people don't think it's a job. It's a beautiful job. It's a job. For me, I believe it's a job that paid me to be a girl, to live just my life. I share the things that I do on a regular day, and I get paid for it. It's a job. I love girly things. I love beauty. I love I love everything that's like very feminine. So, and I get paid to love these things.
And you love sharing your knowledge,
100%.
I think.
So I feel like it's a beautiful job, but that does not mean it's not a full-time job, because recording, creating content, thinking of ideas, engaging with your audience, being relevant, and always having something new to put out, because people get bored. So you cannot tell me this is not a job. And going to events, meeting people, networking, building relationship with brands, and reviewing products, reading so much about products, So I feel like if this is not a full-time job, what is?
As somebody who works in media, I genuinely feel like creators, if I have, let's say, 5 different roles in my job as a media professional, I would say the creators have those 5 plus 5, if not 10 more. Because you, as a public figure, also have to be so gracious, and you're not a lot of the times met with such kind people, but you have to continue with that grace. You have to hold your confidence at a certain level, hold your patience at a certain level. Negotiations alone with PR agencies is another thing.
That's every day.
That's every single day.
Every day, no days off, 24/7.
You said something about staying relevant, right? And a part of that is always attending these events.
Yeah.
And a lot of influencers nowadays, recently, I'm sure you've been seeing this, have been talking about, I'm going to reduce the amount of times I go to these events, and I feel like it's not reciprocated by the brands and this and that.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Okay, so to be fully honest, I don't know about other influencers, but the way I do it is that if there's a brand that invited me to their event and I love their brand, yes, I will go, because I love the brand. I would love to try out their product. I would love to work with them in the future. So yes, I go and I support. But if it's something that's super irrelevant to me, it's something that maybe it is relevant, but I don't really love the brand that much, then why am I there? Why am I putting my time and shooting content and promoting a brand that I don't even like? So it depends on, do I love the brand? Do I want to be there? And this is how, and I am very selective with my time, because time is very, very important for me. So I only go to events for brands that I genuinely love, that I genuinely want to support and genuinely want to work with. I want to meet the people behind the brand. I want to get to know them. I want to build a relationship. So yes, I will go. But if I'm not interested in these things, I don't want to meet the people, I don't want to really build a relationship, why am I there? Why am I creating them content?
But what if the brand that you like does not reciprocate the support that you show? Let's say you've showed up to a couple of events, you've posted about them a couple of times. Does that bother you?
Does that bother me? Listen, it's business at the end of the day, right? So what you do is that you do your end of the bargain. You network. Not every single networking event is going to yield with something.
Correct.
Right? So you go, you network, you try to meet the brand, you try to pitch in, you do your thing. If it yields in, that's great. If it doesn't, and you feel like you're wasting time and they're not appreciating you, then you can just stop showing up. So you get me? But that does not mean from the get-go, if I'm not yielding something, I'm not no. You go in with a good intention. If it works out, that's a good business deal. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If people could sell from the first pitch, then everyone would be a billionaire.
Dream.
100%.
Dream.
So I think, no, like obviously respect your time, but do not become the type of person where unless it yields financially, I'm not doing it. Sometimes it's networking. Sometimes it's meeting people there.
True.
Who is surrounding? Who's coming to these events? You know, you don't know. Sometimes it's other PR brands. Sometimes the PR brand is holding other different brands, right? It's not just this brand. So always be smart about it. Don't take it personal. It's not personal. No brand hates you. I feel like it's just knowing exactly what you want to get out of it, and being just open for the opportunity. You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know who's the next person that's going to change your life.
It's so true. It can sometimes even be another creator. I've met like other creators in events that they were the ones that were like, hey, this brand wants me for this, but I think you're a better fit. Because what I notice about the creator space here is, I don't know, the ones I've met and hang out with, at least you and, you know, Lajena and all the other girlies, G, very helpful. It's not a space where it's selfish, where it's like, oh my God, I want the brands all to myself. Do not copy me. It's very like, hey, if I see something that's a fit for you, go for it. Come with me to the events. You know, it's such a, how to say this? I guess the people that are sometimes where you want to be, you know, some people yani, on the standbys would assume that, oh, they're very to themselves, they will not this. But sometimes those are the people that if you just ask, or even if you don't, some of them are really just naturally generous. And I think it goes back to what you were saying about abundance. And I think you guys get all the abundance in events, in business deals, and all of the above, the love, because you're so willing to share that with other women and other creators in the space.
Yeah, and I think you're completely correct, because I feel like you receive what you give. If I'm not giving opportunities, if I'm not trying to open doors, if I'm not introducing people, then it's not going to happen to me. You know, it's kind of selfish, like doing, but the honesty of it, if you're not doing the things you want to receive, then you don't deserve receiving them, to be fully honest. You know? So I believe it's a beautiful space. I've met amazing people in this space. You know, a lot of the people kind of have the same mentality as me as well. The girls are strong. It's like one of them industries where every single woman is beautiful, confident, and strong. And she's probably like doing this to help her life, help her family. So it's such a beautiful community as well, you know.
They're go-getters.
They're go-getters, because if they weren't go-getters, if they weren't strong women, they wouldn't be putting out their lives and sharing it and receiving the hate and continuing to do it.
How important do you think it is to know yourself and your brand identity before going into this space? Because like you said, like you prioritize brands that you like and this and that, but other creators, I feel, will accept anything and everything as long as it's paid or as long as they get goodies out of it. How important do you think it is to have that core identity, and like where could it go wrong if you don't have that in this space?
It's very, very important. Keep in mind, your followers love you for who you are, for what you stand for. You can't be loving everything. No person loves every single brand.
You can't be obsessed with it all.
You can't. It's the truth, right? We all know that. So I feel like if I love something, that means my followers are gonna go and buy it. So there's a responsibility there. My followers love me because I love 1, 2, 3. I stand for 1, 2, 3. I care about 1, 2, 3. If I'm not choosing a brand according to that, then I'm basically, you know, misleading my followers. And by the way, the first time you mislead them, they might be like, you know, shame on you. Second time, they'll unfollow you. Second time, they won't take your word for it. They won't follow you. They won't support you. And then you're not really...
You lose your business, you lose your work.
So what's more important, to represent yourself or to just get goodies that are going to stay for what, like a month or two, or cash? Cash comes and goes. What's important is building an honest relationship with your followers.
Amazing. Yeah. What do you want to say to the person that maybe just started their Instagram or their TikTok account? They want to go into content creation. What's something that you wish you'd known before getting into this space that you'd want to say to them?
I think keep going, keep pushing. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't say, oh, it won't work out. Oh, it's not yielding now. It will work out in the right time. You will get the opportunity in the right time. This is a learning curve. Always look at it like that. Like, what even the misses are, I'm learning from them. I'm gaining more and more. This is a business at the end of the day. And you don't show up to the company and become the CEO. You show up to the company, you start building, going through the ladder, the corporate ladder, because you're going to learn. Going through the ladder is good as well because you're going to learn. Just don't stop, be focused, be determined to make it and learn from your mistakes and just be yourself as well, you know? And this is the hardest part, to be yourself.
That's the hardest part.
It's the hardest part because at the beginning, you don't know how much to show. You don't know how to show it as well. You're not, still not that comfortable with the camera. It will come in due time, but be persistent to be yourself always and forever, and just keep going. It will work out. Trust me on this. It will.
That's true. Patience and determination you'll always reap the benefits of it. I know you struggled with showcasing yourself in the most authentic way, Gabal.
100%.
Tell me about that. Like, what do you feel is the difference then and now?
Okay, so which is a natural thing for all influencers. So I feel like when I first started, I didn't really have a background on influencing, on how to what to share exactly, because I don't want to share too much, right? Because some people could be like, what the heck, why are you telling us your personal stuff? But at the same time, I didn't want to share too little. So I didn't know how much to share and what to share and what not to share. And I still didn't know how to present myself in front of the camera. I mean, some people go to school, journalism, for example. Some people go to school to learn to do that. An influencer is a person with just a phone who just decided to show
immediately,
up. Exactly. So it's very important to take your time with it. But I think for me at the beginning, I just didn't know how to show my true self, right? I didn't know how to. It's not like I didn't want to. I just didn't know how to. And I remember whenever I would meet someone who knew me from social media, they'd just like stare and they'll give me a stare. They'll be like, I didn't think you're like that. Or I just could never imagine you to be like this in real life. And that always struck me as a negative thing.
Really?
100%. Because at the end of the day, this is your brand. If you're telling me that my brand is to showcase my life and to showcase my personality, and the people are not really grasping the idea that I'm putting out, then something is going wrong. Imagine putting out a product and people don't understand what the product is. They like the product, it looks nice, but what does it do? So to me, that's when I realized that I need to showcase more. I need to relate, because you need to relate.
You need to relate.
So so what I did is start to share more, and I do that through Snapchat. Actually, I'm my full authentic self there, and that made people understand me, so that whenever I put out product, which is my content, they understand, what is this content, where is it coming from, what is it, what's the point. Ola has these ideologies or mentalities, that's why this makes sense. So it's still a work in progress. I'm still not there. But I think
I so agree. I'm also a work in progress on that. Like, our producer literally always tells me, Shireen, I just want how you were talking to me just now off camera, please show me that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? In my heart, I feel like I'm doing that, but apparently I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's years of just, being so used to presenting on camera and doing some certain things a certain way. And, you have to be like very in your journalistic steez. So I'm like, fine, we'll do that. On that note, what are the misconceptions? Like, when people do tell you, oh my God, I didn't expect you to be like this, in what way? What do they mean by that when they say
okay. This is TV still. I feel like a lot of the people would conceive me as spoiled, as just a pretty face. They would perceive me as not someone they know I'm confident, they can see the confidence, but they wouldn't perceive me as someone who's hardworking. I feel like the soft life kind of just like misleads.
Okay.
And listen, I'm not saying I'm not these things. To a huge extent, I love the soft life. I am spoiled. Like, I am built to live a very, very soft life. I'm not built to struggle. But that does not mean that I don't have in Arabic we say muhtawa, like an essence.
Okay.
That does not mean that I'm just someone who's going through life as just a pretty face.
Does it mean ما عندك substance?
Yeah, basically. Exactly, substance.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever people meet me, they're like, oh, well, you seem, I would say the word intelligent. And I'm like, oh. See? In my head, I'm
was
like,
I giving them blood?
Was I? But I do understand because they do see a very small fraction of, not even a fraction, less than a fraction. I'm literally telling them, oh, I like using this, I love using this, but I don't say anything about myself. I don't talk about things that I care about. And I think with time, obviously, they're getting to know me. And keep in mind, they just met me 2 years ago. Keep that in mind. You know, they don't know me for forever. They just met me 2 years ago. And at the first year, I was not even my real self.
You were in your ma أحكي لكم era, babe.
Exactly. So to be fully honest, look at it as marriage, you know? You just met the person. You're getting to know them. At the beginning, you don't really know them. They don't really know you. But with time, the relationship builds.
That's true.
Probably 10 years from now, we're going to be like, you know, besties.
It'll be filterless. That's true. I feel like there's layers to this ish, you know? And some people just can't do that off the bat. Some have that that skill, don't get me wrong. I feel, for example, Heidi, she can do it. Off camera, she is the same personality. You know what I mean? Some can't, and some like really, really need that time. But I think you're right. It's really, really important, isn't it?
It takes time.
And you work through it at your own comfort.
Yeah, don't push yourself too much, because keep in mind, showing too much as well isn't ideal.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, you want to show what's actually relevant to your content.
What do you think about TMI in influencers? Like, how can that affect you?
I like it. You know, on certain influencers who I believe that I genuinely like when they share their experience, especially if it's like trauma, if it's something psychological, I like, you know, I genuinely enjoy it, but it needs to be something that I relate to. Do you get me? Sometimes it's too much information and things that I don't really relate to. I don't really understand. So in my head, like, I'm not going to follow someone who's just telling me long stories about things that I'm not really interested in. Things that I don't really understand as well. Do you get me? Or I've never experienced, nor will I experience, right? So to me, no, I feel like it depends on who's the influencer. And if they're sharing too much information, do I like the information or not?
Is it entertaining or not?
100%.
Is it fun to keep in the background while you do your Get Ready With Me?
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I never watched it.
Oh.
I love Kim.
Not once?
Stop I feel like probably like an episode or two. But I never could watch a season. I never fully watched the season.
Stop.
Or like 5 episodes. Yeah. Listen, it's not anything against them, but it's just the idea that I could never relate to their lives. It was so far-fetched to me that it was not, whatever information they were sharing, it was just not interesting to me. So for me to sit and watch something that's not relatable to me, I won't.
I like that.
Simple as.
I like that. Okay. I want to ask you, what has been your biggest challenge so far with building your brand now? And how do you feel you overcame that?
I think the biggest challenge was showcasing myself. You know, like being more open, sharing more, just growing as well. You know, that is a challenge. But I think the only way that I overcame it is I have this concept in my mind. I always tell myself, look, 5 years ago, did it matter? Whatever you were afraid of, whatever you stressed about, you know? And then I realized, no, it didn't really matter. So whatever challenge I would go through, you know, in social media, I would look 2 years ago when I started social media. Was I the same person? The same worries, the things that I really cared about. Do I really care about them now? Not really. Then this challenge, I'm not going to care about it 2 years from now. So let me just resolve it. Let me fix it. Let me work through it.
I love that.
Yeah. Like life, like I look at life like it's a movie. It's not real. You know, it's just like levels.
You really do. Because I remember when I would see the hate comments, I would be like, Arla, how do you feel about this? And you're like, fun, whatever, keep it coming. She's such a chill approach.
Just the comments. It's literally just not taking life too serious. Do you get me? You're here on a mission. You can't be swayed by others, to be fully honest. I feel like focus on your mission, focus on where you work, focus on yourself. It will not really bother you, genuinely, if so-and-so said so-and-so. So-and-so are not on the same mission. So-and-so do not matter to my vision and to my mission. Wow, mission, vision,
wow.
But I feel like it's just being straight on, knowing who you are is very important. And I think this is one of the most important things before starting social media, is being fully assured of who you are and what you're doing and why are you here on this earth, to be fully honest. I feel like that will give you a clearer picture. Whenever someone says anything, I'm not swayed. I genuinely appreciate and respect their opinion. That's their opinion. But that has nothing to do with me right now. Do you get me?
You can agree on the surface, but you know yourself deep down. I feel I have that same thing now.
Like if you tell me this is not white, well, cool, Shireen,
That's
it's not
on you.
white.
Yeah.
But I know it's white.
Yeah.
At least for my life, it's white. You know?
What did you do to work on that? Like, I know it takes time. It takes years of introspection. But what were the things that you did? For some, it's like journaling. For others, it's therapy. Others, it's going through things over and over again. But what were the things that really helped you get to know yourself more on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, maybe even?
I think hardship. I'd like to think that I don't think I had it easy, you know, through life, growing up, traumas, things that happened, people I've encountered, which I'm super, super grateful for. I feel like God has given me such a intense life early on, very intense life early on, that it made me look at life now as, I wouldn't say easy peasy, but I could understand. Do you get me? I think just going through hardship just kind of made me just nothing, like I always knew I could, you know, things will get better.
Yeah.
Because there's always, I've seen things get better. I've seen myself get better. I've seen myself grow, look at things differently. I'm not the same person that was 21 years old, right? I used to look at life so differently. I was scared. I was not as confident. I was
in survival mode.
I was very sensitive as well, right? And I just thought that I'll forever be this scared, sensitive, not confident human being.
Yeah.
But look at me now. So that means 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I'm going to figure out new personality trait. I'm going to become a new. So there's always room for improvement, for feeling better, for looking better, for understanding life better. So that's what keeps me going. I'm hopeful for a better me that's going to give me a better life. And I know it's coming. Because look at me now, look at me at 21.
This is like the strongest form of manifestation, or to some, obviously, prayer and belief in, you know, your creator. I feel like is like
100%.
the belief that knowing it's always going to be good.
100%.
And they say that people who have gone through trauma early on or a lot of hardships, there's like your brain's neuroplasticity like extends, right? So your tolerance, if you will,
100%.
is just it expands more. So it means nothing really phases you as much later on in life. Do you feel like everything's just so much easier now?
100%. You know the book The Mountain Is You?
Yes.
So she had this part where she said that the only way to get better at life is to go through so much hardship. So much hardship, because that's the only way your brain is going to be able to digest hardship, digest stress, understand how to handle stressful situations, stressful people.
Yeah.
You know, hard situations, how to resolve issues without going into depression, and these are
how
things,
to regulate your emotions.
100%, how to know yourself. So I feel like the more I and that's why I always put myself through hardship, because I'm trying to actually make my personality stronger. So it makes it easier for me to deal with my anxiety. So it makes it easier for me to deal with my downtime, the time where I don't feel like I can do this anymore, right? So I feel like the only way is to go through really hard things, deal with really hard people, and overcome them. It makes me better. It makes me deal with my emotions better, psychologically better. And knowing that I am and I tell it to myself every single day, no one was ever made as strong as you. You're something else. You're something.
She's an affirmations queen.
Every day, like I speak to her in the mirror and I'm like, you are made from a different cloth.
I love that.
100%.
That would make one of our segments much better later. You're used to it already.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do it often, and that's actually something I'm gonna keep in mind. I've been saying I need to do this challenge of like talking to yourself first thing in the morning, you know, saying all these things, but I haven't really gotten down to it.
Definitely. It's a must every day.
Exactly. All right. So now I want to go through a couple of things very, very quickly. I have 100 more questions.
I just want to
say
we
don't have time.
I love how this was supposed to be a fun sleepover, but it's down
It's
to
you and
deep. And by the way, this is how it is. Like, we'd start with hee hee ha ha, gossip, and then, you know, tell me about your mother. Tell me about your
Always.
What really happened? How did that make you feel? And I feel like we just get too deep in, and now it's like deep red table talk.
I expected this, to be honest.
Well,
I expected this.
yeah.
And mind you, I was going to be like, so what's like your favorite mascara these days? No, me. Neuroplasticity, please. The influencer license in Dubai. This is going back again to content creation.
Yes.
It's become mandatory now. I got mine. Alhamdulillah. What do you think this does now for the creator industry? Like the filtering of it? Like what's your opinion on the getting the license?
I think it's very important. It's just like any business. It needs to be regulated, right? So I feel like, imagine, like at the end of the day, it goes deeper than the fact that they're regulating. It goes down to money laundering. 100%. Because I could come today and put money into your account and say, well, she did me an ad. Do you get me?
So true.
And I could just be whoever, not even a regulated entity.
That's so true.
100%. It's very important, and it makes it like this is a legitimate business. So I think licensing was very important. Do you get me? Whatever is coming in and out, we need to know where it's coming from. As a government, not me, but like the government needs to know where it's coming from. Why is this person paid X amount from X person? Who is X person?
Yeah.
Do you get me? So I think it's very important, and it kind of boosts the idea of influencing is a real job.
I was going to say it legitimizes it.
100%.
What is next for you? Where do you see your brand, your content going in the next 5 years?
I don't have a vision for my future.
Oh?
Yeah, I take it as it comes. I do my 110% every single day. I know it's going to go somewhere great because I know I'm built to become someone great. Do you get me? But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't even be doing influencing then. You never know where life could take you. 5 years ago, I didn't even know what I was doing. So I know I'm going to be somewhere very important, but I still don't know what.
I'm going to call it. You're going to be an entrepreneur.
Really?
Somewhere, somehow. There's a brand in the making, a huge one.
We hope so.
I'm calling it. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. And on that note, my last question to you is, what legacy do you want to leave behind in this world as Ola Elsharef?
This is really deep. I think I would want to leave something that shows that women can do it all. That she came in, she left something, she built, even if it's something that relates more to my personality rather than leaving a brand or leaving something tangible. I want to be remembered as a woman that, created something from nothing. A woman that, was against the world and left something. Maybe a memoir one day. Maybe, why not?
I'm so ready for it.
100%. Maybe, why not? I feel like everything that I've experienced just shows that you can have it all. If you really, really want it, and if you're really, really ready to put down the work, you can have it all. And I mean mentally even. You can have the right mentality, that you could have an amazing personality, a strong personality if you really work on it.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.